Hi everyone, welcome to Dreaded Mathematics. In the last two videos we were looking at the associative property and the commutative property. In this video we'll be looking at numbers and their opposites and what happens when you combine them. So let's start. Let's say we had 3 minus 3. What does that equal to? Well, let's see what's going on here. Let's draw a number line. Let's say we're at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. And it says we have 3 and we're taking away 3 from it. So we're at 3. This is where we are. This is the starting point. And let's say, as a convention, that going to the right is positive and going to the left is negative by convention. So we're saying that we have a 3 and we're adding a negative 3 to it. That's what this is. 3 plus a negative 3. That's what this is. A minus sign is really a plus sign in disguise. So we're at 3 and we're moving 1, 2, 3 places. And we land on 0. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Also, let's say that we were doing it the other way around. Let's say that we had a minus 3 and we're adding 3 to it. What is that? Well, we're here at negative 3. And let me highlight that. So we're here at negative 3. And we're moving 3 places to the right. That's what it means. We're adding 3. So we do 1, 2, 3. And here we are, we land at 0 again. So that's what's happening. When you're adding a number to itself, to the opposite of itself, you're bringing it to a neutral position, that's 0. So if you're at negative 4 and you're adding 4 to it, you're moving 4 places, you land on 0. If you're at a positive 1,000,000 and you're taking away 1,000,000 from it, you're just putting it right back to 0. So that's what this is. You can think of this as the additive inverse. So really a minus sign is a plus sign in disguise. What if we said that we wanted to find the opposite of it? Let's say we had a third. We had a third. And what is the opposite? Well, the opposite of this is just 3 over 1. This is what we call the reciprocal. You're just flipping it, really. You're just moving the numerator with the denominator. So every whole number that you see, even if you just see just a 10 by itself, there's an implicit 1 there. There's over 1. Because any number divided by 1 is just that number. So if you're taking the reciprocal of any number, it's just flipping its numerator with its denominator. That's all you're really doing. And the question is, what happens when you combine a number with its reciprocal? As in, what happens when you multiply a number by its reciprocal? So you can think of 1 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 1, and 3 times 1 is 3, times 1 is also 3. 3 into itself, 1, 1, that's 1. And you can do this over and over again. Let's say you had 100 multiplied by 1 over 100. It's the same thing. There's an implicit 1 there. 100 times 1 is 100. 1 times 100 is also 100. Anything divided by itself is just 1. And this is very interesting. When you multiply a number by its reciprocal, you get 1. It's also worth noting that division is really multiplication in disguise. So if you think of 3 over 4, 3 over 4 is really 3 multiplied by 1/4. Or if you see any other number like 10 over 11, 10 over 11 is really 10 multiplied by 1 over 11. So it's definitely worth keeping in mind that division is really multiplication in disguise and subtraction is really addition in disguise. So there are really only two operations in arithmetic. addition and multiplication. So let's make a table here. Operation, opposite, and identity. So since there's only two operations in arithmetic, there's going to be addition and multiplication. The opposite of addition is subtraction. What happens when you combine a number to its opposite? Well, you get 0. The thing that makes 0 very special is that if you add 0 to any number, that number remains the same. It will always remain the same if you add 0 to any number. The opposite of multiplication is division, or another word is, you can call it its reciprocal. What happens when you multiply a number by its reciprocal? Well, you get 1, as seen here. And the thing that makes 1 special, very special in fact, is that any number multiplied by 1, it will also be just that number. So this is what we call the identity of addition and multiplication. And this is what you call the additive identity. And this is what you call the multiplicative identity. And all this is saying is that a number will retain its identity if you add 0 to it. And a number will also retain its identity if you multiply it by 1. That's all the identity is saying. It retains its identity.